We've learned how the membrane controls what enters. But how do molecules reach the membrane? To answer that, we must first understand matter. Everything around us is made of tiny particles. They're always moving.
Everything around us is made of atoms. An atom is the smallest particle of matter that retains the properties of an element.
Everything you see is made of tiny particles called atoms. Atoms join together to form molecules, which make up all matter around us.
The same tiny particles can exist in 5 different states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and Bose-Einstein condensate. But what makes a solid different from a liquid? In solids, particles are packed very closely together and held by strong forces of attraction. They cannot move freely, so solids have a definite shape and volume. When solids absorb heat, their particles gain energy and begin sliding past one another. That's why liquids can flow and take the shape of any container. As liquids absorb more heat, their particles gain enough energy to escape completely, forming a gas. Gas particles move freely in all directions and fill every available space. When a gas receives enormous energy, its atoms lose electrons and become plasma, a super-energetic state of matter found in stars, lightning, and neon lights. At temperatures close to absolute zero, atoms lose almost all their motion and begin behaving as one giant quantum object. This mysterious state is called the Bose-Einstein condensate. The difference between all 5 states isn't the particles, it's their energy and motion.
Which state of matter has the fastest particles? Solids only vibrate in fixed positions. Liquids move and slide past one another. Gases move freely at high speed.
What makes these particles move? Anything that moves has kinetic energy. The faster a particle moves, the more kinetic energy it has. So what makes particles move faster or slower? Temperature measures kinetic energy. Particles move slowly here. Heat it, and they move faster. What happens when they spread? Why can you smell it from far away? Because particles are always moving, they spread naturally. This process is called diffusion. Does diffusion happen only in gases? Diffusion occurs in all states of matter, but its speed depends on particle motion.
How does this cell get oxygen? Diffusion supplies oxygen and removes carbon dioxide. But what if only water needs to cross? What if only water crosses the membrane? Osmosis is the movement of water. It moves from high to low concentration.
Water always moves by osmosis.
Why do some cells suddenly shrink? Water leaves the cell to balance the concentration, causing the cell to shrink. Can a cell stay the same size? Let's find out next. Can a cell stay exactly the same size? Water moves both ways equally, so there is no net movement and the cell keeps its normal shape. What if more water enters the cell than leaves?
Can too much water destroy a cell? Water enters the cell to balance the concentration. Animal cells may swell and burst. Then why don't plant cells burst? Their secret will surprise you.
Why doesn't this cell burst like an animal cell? The strong cell wall resists the pressure, making the cell turgid instead of bursting. Then why don't animal cells have a cell wall?
What keeps plants standing upright? This pressure keeps stems and leaves firm, helping plants remain upright. What happens when a plant loses this pressure? Why do plants droop without water? Without enough water, plant cells lose turgor pressure, causing stems and leaves to wilt. Can this plant recover? As water enters the cells, turgor pressure returns, making the plant firm and healthy again. But why doesn't this happen in animal cells?
Why does only one have a cell wall? Let's take a closer look. Animals need flexible cells for movement. Plants need rigid walls for support. It provides protection. If diffusion is free, why do cells need energy? When cells move substances against the concentration gradient, they need energy. This process is called active transport. Where does the energy for active transport come from? ATP stores energy in its last phosphate bond. When that bond breaks, energy is released to power active transport. Where does ATP get its energy? Mitochondria capture energy released during cellular respiration and store it in ATP, the cell's energy currency. If ATP is the cell's battery, where is it charged? Mitochondria produce ATP through cellular respiration, supplying energy for nearly every activity inside the cell.
Stay connected and stay curious to explore further. Science is full of amazing mysteries. If you enjoyed these fascinating facts, please like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next discovery. Tell me in the comments